Hi, my name is Megan Wright, and I am here in my home in the beautiful Willamette Valley in Oregon, in the United States, and I'm a meditation teacher. Um, we are in the first few days of voluntary quarantine or social distancing uh, due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And over the course of the last week, my interactions with other people have been mainly online, but also when I have had opportunity to interact with people in person, I realized that there's been a lot of anxiety and fear over the events happening in our world right now. And that is not surprising. Um, I felt um, inspired to help. And this is what I do. This is what I know how to do. Now, I've always resisted doing any type of online meditation class. There's a couple of reasons for that. One is I just don't like to see myself on a camera. I'm sitting here talking to myself. That feels very unnatural to me. I want to talk to another human. I highly value interpersonal communications. So this is outside of my comfort zone for sure. Um, I do want to thank my friends who have gotten me to FaceTime and Marco Polo with them. It's gotten me a little bit more comfortable, so I appreciate that. Um, Little steps have get us to where we can take bigger steps. Um, the other reason is that um, for me, meditation requires a level of intimacy and transparency. And I feel like technology creates a barrier to those things. I hope that I can do my best to overcome that. Um, I hope we can work together to overcome that. That in the way that I present this video, um, that I will be able to interact later and answer questions. Um, This will be posted in YouTube and also on Facebook, and I will host a Facebook watch party, which is possibly how you're watching this, but that so that I'll be able to interact in real time while the video is going on. That's going to be very uncomfortable for me watching myself give a class while I interact with the people watching, but I'm going to do it anyway. I am stepping outside my comfort zone to um, to help people, and I hope this is helpful to you. So let's get started. So, first of all, we're going to start at the very beginning. This class is for people who have either never meditated before or who have tried meditation and feel like they have failed at it, or it wasn't working for them, or it just wasn't for them. So, um, let's first talk about what meditation is. So, meditation is an exercise to train our brain to do what we want it to do. That's really what it is. It's just like exercising, only for your brain. Um, in our world, we have been taught. I like this analogy. We've been taught to drive cars, but sometimes life throws us into an airplane, and we're expected to pilot an airplane with only instructions on how to drive a car. Of course, we're going to panic. We have our brains are this incredible, incredible tool, much like an airplane. We need to learn how to pilot them. So this is the beginning stages of moving beyond driving a car. So, and by driving a car, maybe people have said you just need, you need to calm down. That's not helpful, right? Or take deep breaths. Deep breathing is important. I'm going to show you how to do it so that it actually helps. Um, uh, yeah, so that's what meditation is. It's become more popular in the last couple of years, but people still have a lot of mm, I, ideas about what it is or what it isn't, and hopefully I can dispel some of those or help. ease any anxiety over what meditation might be or what might it mean. It really is just a way to exercise and train our brains to do what we want them to do, to operate as the powerful tool that they are. Okay, now you may have heard the term mindfulness. And mindfulness, what that is bringing your attention to a single moment in time. Um, and you might have heard mindfulness based meditation. We will use mindfulness and mindfulness type meditations. I'm going to teach you at least 5 different types of meditation. But mindfulness based is often used to denote secular meditation or non spiritual meditation. Now, transparency is incredibly important to me. And so, in that vein, I would like to let you all know that I am a practicing member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I am a Christian, and meditation to me is extremely spiritual. So there will be spiritual aspects of this. I will try to accommodate varying beliefs to the best of my ability, but in order to be authentic to who I am and transparent, I just have to teach the way that I know how. I hope that you can incorporate whatever I say and use flexibility to make it work for your own belief system. And I think that is very possible. So if you are not a spiritual person, I hope you'll stay with us. I think that this is not going to be a problem for you. So that covers what meditation and what mindfulness is. Think of it as an exercise, and then mindfulness is bringing attention to a single moment and doing it over and over again. We'll talk more about that later. So who is meditation for? I talked a little bit about that before. It's for everyone. I really believe that meditation really is like exercise. Is there anyone that shouldn't exercise? Our bodies are powerful tools, and through exercise and movement, we train them in how to work. We make them work for us. We make them work better. We make them. We create better health for them. Meditation is the same thing, only for our brains. So I really do believe that everyone should meditate. And what else? Okay, the rules for meditation. So there are lots of ideas about meditation. It's often, again, tied to religions. We are not going to, I'm not going to be teaching you any very specific religious meditations. I draw from all creeds, all disciplines. I started a meditation group over 3 years ago with the purpose of trying out every type of meditation that we could come across. And I think that we have tried out every kind that doesn't require a licensed teacher. And we've tried out, I think, something like 30 or 40 different types. And it was amazing. It helped us, those in the group, craft our own meditation practice and to learn what we really liked. I hope that as you move beyond this class and I give you some resources that you can be open and try out your own, try out different ones so that you can create your own and craft your own meditation practice that suits you. If something isn't working, there's always something else to try. All right? Okay. So rules. So sometimes in some practices, people have very specific rules. I don't abide by that. So here are my rules for meditation. The first one is to be compassionate and to yourself, to show yourself grace. You are never doing it wrong. You are never asking a a, a dumb question. You are never you should never beat yourself up when your mind wanders. Um, always extend yourself compassion. That is one of my two rules. My other rule is to be open. Don't um, don't dismiss something out of hand because of something you may have heard in the past. And those really are my only two rules: be open and be compassionate. Um, I I don't believe in a particular posture, and I will talk about different ways that you can sit or be while you're meditating. So you may have seen the use of, these are called mudras. You can, they're for a particular type of practice, which is not one that we're going to go over right now or during this course. Um, so I will show you what I do, but feel free to adapt it, and I will offer you um, alternatives. So, first thing is that many of you may have never even seen someone meditate. You don't know even what it looks like. And this is because, much like, well, meditation is usually a very private practice. Even if it's done in groups, it is done within our own minds. And so it's difficult to see someone meditate. Now, it may be that you have seen me meditate if you know me in person and you didn't know that I was doing it. If you have seen me sitting somewhere with my eyes closed, I don't sleep in public. So I don't even like rest in public. I was employing a meditation practice. But I do want to show you a brief portion of my own meditation practice that I think is going to be that I'm using right now to overcome fear and anxiety, and I'm going to try to voice it. I have been practicing this. This is not something that I do normally, but I have been practicing it, and I'm going to try to do it briefly in about 2 or 3 minutes so that you can see what sort of maybe what my brain is doing while I'm meditating in this particular style. I do use multiple styles, but this is one that I felt like I could voice and share. So this is a combination of a type called Vipassana and a guided meditation. And what I'm going to do is I'm using the idea that that fears become more loud and more demanding if we ignore them. That what they really want is to be recognized. They just want to come out in the open and say, "Here I am." And this type of meditation is a guided. I'm going to guide myself in a visualization, and I'm going to do it out loud so that you can hear me. And I'm going to invite my fears to sit with me at a table so that I can see them. And I am then going to mediate a peace discussion with them. And I may invite someone to do that. Or I may do it myself. Again, there are multiple flexible options. One thing that I want to add before I start this, and you'll see this later, but I think it's important to talk about now, is children are very good at mindfulness, and what we call that as adults is imagination. Okay, they can bring their whole being to an entire moment, and we are delighted by that as adults and children, and then we stop doing it. Our world starts telling us, you must think about tomorrow. You have to think about the consequences. You have to think about what might happen if you don't do this. This is what we hear all the time, right? You must do this or this will happen. If you want this, then you have to work hard. You have to be thinking about the future. And we lose our ability to be mindful. Or alternately, we might say to ourselves, oh, you really screwed that up. Like thinking about the past, how could I have done that better? Um, Either way, we're not in the present. So our society and developing into adulthood even just has trained us against being mindful. But children are really good about this. And what we call this in this often as adults is imagination. Imagination is a powerful tool that we've been given to help manage our brains. It's not just something that we give up when we leave childhood. So you will see me use visualization. That's my cat. She always knows when I'm meditating. You can ask my meditation group. She comes around. She like can sense it. So she's showing up because she was like, "Oh, we're meditating. I can tell." So, um, if you try this practice, and I hope that you will, um, please be mindful that I'm trying to shorten this process. It would normally take much longer than this. So I have already like prepped myself and that um, that you always need to bring compassion to yourself. Only do as much as you can. Um, and if you have any questions or concerns, please message me. Okay. I'm going to picture myself sitting at a table. It's a round table. And the way that I'm going to invite some of my current fears to the table is that I am going to start listing what I am feeling. And this listing of what I'm feeling is going to eventually lead to what I actually fear. And at that point, I can invite that fear to sit at my table so that I can see it and offer compassion. To let myself know and to let that fear know that I care, that it exists, and that we can work together to have a peaceful heart. I feel tension in my shoulders. I'm not doing anything about it. I just am acknowledging that I feel it. I feel a tightness at the base of my skull. I feel my heart rate is elevated. I feel that my chest is a little bit constricted. I feel some pain in my lower back. And my left hip is uncomfortable. My feet are cold. I feel unsettled. I dislike the uncomfortable feeling of recording myself. I am worried about being judged. I'm worried about being rejected by people I care about. That is my fear. Please sit at my table. I am frustrated with my children. No. I am frustrated with the situation that brings my children here. I'm worried for my children. I feel a decrease in compassion towards my children because of my anxiety. I am worried for the future of my children. There. Please sit at my table. I am anxious over my phone. I feel drawn between turning it off and constantly checking it. I am both wanting and dreading the next text or phone call from my husband. I am worried for my husband. He works in the medical field. He is currently overworked in a dramatic way. I'm worried for his health. I'm worried I will lose him. That is my fear. Please sit at the table with me. I could pause, but I feel like, or I could go on, but I feel like this is enough for this practice. I want to see my fears. There are 3 of them sitting here with me at the table. I have acknowledged them. I have brought them to light. And now I would like to invite a guide to help us broker peace. My guide that I will choose is Jesus Christ. You may choose anyone. And as he sits at the table with us, he needs do nothing more than see all of us and acknowledge our existence. He offers light to all of us. And we sit looking at each other, and I feel calm. I am able to move throughout my day and move on with this class without these fears badgering me, because I have seen them and acknowledged that they're here. That's it. That's all. I don't know if you can, excuse me, I don't know if you can sense the change in me, but it is dramatic. I have recorded this video without doing this portion at least 15 times and deleted it. This is the one that will go up. I am confident and comfortable now. I knew that I had to do this on camera. It took me a long time to be able to get to do this. Now you've seen me meditate. I have voiced it out loud, which you can do. And I want to only hold the I only offer this as an example so that you can see what meditation looks like. We're going to go through, that was a combination of guided visualization and Vipassana. And those are two of the ones that we will cover, but we're going to start in a more simplified place. We're going to start with two things. I promised effective deep breathing, and that's what we're going to start with. And then a type of meditation called a body scan. And I'll walk you through those now. So the type of breathing that we use in meditation that will actually bring you relief instead of just some person saying you need to calm down, take a deep breath, is called rhythmic breathing. And this is how it works. You breathe in through your nose to the count of 5. So as you're breathing in your mind, count to 5. And then you're going to hold at the top of that breath again to another count of 5. And then you're going to release all of that breath, all of the air in your lungs to the count of 5. So that's going to feel kind of fast, and that's what I want you to do. And then you hold at that bottom breath to the count of 5. So go ahead and try that right now, and I will count for you. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, release, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more time, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and release, 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, and let your breathing return to normal. If you are feeling distress in a moment, you can take a moment to connect with your breath. And this is a really good way to connect to your breath because you are having to bring intention to it instead of just breathing normally where we don't think about it. We are not mindful of our breath ever by design, gratefully, right? But if you bring intention and awareness to it, by doing it in this very distinct way, you're going to increase oxygen to your brain. You're going to take a minute to stop doing whatever else you're doing, to stop thinking about whatever else you're doing. And it is a very effective tool to calm down in the moment. Much like any other muscle, you're going to have to practice it. And the more you practice it when you don't need it, the more effective it will be when you do need it. So take a few, honestly, this is a 1-minute exercise that you can do multiple times a day. And just practice mindfully breathing. You might also notice how your breath feels as you're doing this if you want to increase mindfulness. That as you breathe in, it's cold in your nostrils. That as you hold, you feel an expanding in your chest. These are all ways that you can bring mindfulness to rhythmic breathing, and it will help to train your brain. Oh, we're thinking about this right now. Moving forward, that training that you do, that we're thinking about breathing right now, will will help you build up your ability to be mindful over in other situations. It will increase your consistency with meditation. All right, so the second type of meditation that I want to introduce to you is called a body scan. And this is often done at the beginning of meditations to help you relax. I'm going to walk you through a body scan. So, what I want you to do is, again, we talked about that I have no posture requirements, but most commonly you should be either sitting up with your back straight or laying down. Some way that your spine is straight. I also feel like it's helpful to not have your legs crossed unless you're sitting like crisscross applesauce. You know, you guys can't see me. That's how I'm sitting right now. I have my legs crossed so I'm balanced, and that really just is so that your body is balanced, so that you might notice that, or so that you don't you aren't distracted by your body. Your breath moves more consistently through a straight, balanced body. It helps you relax better. So I'm going to walk you through a body scan now, and I'm going to turn on some music. At the end of this, I'm going to give you some homework, and I'll tell you about a few resources that I really like. But let me start the music, and we'll do that now. This music is it's a meditation music called Floating by James Anthony Walker. Oh, I'm going to start at the beginning. Okay. All right, so I want you to take your meditation posture, and you can either close your eyes or have a soft focus, just look ahead without really looking at anything. Either one of those is fine. Remember that if you become distracted, you start thinking about other things, your mind races, that's fine. In fact, I would be surprised if that didn't happen. That is what our brains are trained to do. So we're going to train them to do something different, and just like anything else, we're going to have to do it over and over and over again. So if you find yourself somewhere else, thinking about something else, just bring yourself back to your breath and back to my voice. All right, I want you to start by focusing at the top of your head, at the crown of your head. And I want you to relax the muscles in the crown of your head. You may use the tool of your imagination to direct your breath to the areas that are tight or tensioned. Imagine your breath traveling to that area to help release the tension. Now bring your attention to your eyes and the muscles behind your eyes and around your eyes. Let them relax. Let them become soft. Breathe into them. And now focus on the muscles at the base of your skull. Breathe deeply into those muscles. Let them relax. Feel heavy. And now your jaw. Focus on your jaw. If you are clenching your jaw, release it now. Just a little bit of room between those back teeth to give yourself space. And breathe into those muscles, allow them to relax. Next, bring attention to your shoulders and your neck. We carry a lot of tension here. So spend some time here. Let them feel heavy and quiet. Give them permission to relax. You are in a safe place right now, and there is no need for tension in this moment. Breathe deeply into your shoulders and your neck. If it is helpful, you can picture your breath as a color. Breathe in a soothing color, perhaps blue, and breathe out the tension. Maybe that looks red or orange. Use your imagination as a tool to control your brain and let your brain control your body. Okay. Next, bring attention to your upper back. Let those shoulder blades relax. Let them fall down and back. Breathe deeply and bring attention to your chest, particularly where your arms connect to your chest. There is no need to hold yourself together right now. You are safe, and this is a quiet place to be. Breathe deeply into your chest. Maybe it feels like it's melting like ice. Maybe it feels heavy. Next, bring attention to your upper arms. Let them relax and fall to your lap or to your side. Let whatever you're sitting on support your arms. Feel the weight of them. You don't need to hold them right now. Now your lower arms. Let them relax. Let your breath move through them. And now your hands, uncurling your fingers, letting them rest. They are also a powerful tool, and it is time for them to rest. Now bring your awareness to your lower back. Breathe in to your lower back. Allow it to release, give it permission. Breathe in blue, breathe out red. Next, bring attention to your stomach. Show your mid area, your stomach, some compassion. Many of us have felt much tension here in the last few days. Use your breath to send love and compassion and grace to your stomach. Let the chair or the bed or the floor where you are lying release or hold your stomach, hold your body. This is a time for letting go. Next, bring attention to your groin area. Again, we hold so much tension here, like we must hold our legs onto our bodies. Let those muscles release. Breathe in. If you are sitting, feel a connection to what you are sitting. Now your upper legs, and in the same vein, your upper legs often hold so much tension. You do not need to hold yourself together right now. Breathe in deep, cooling blue, and breathe out tension as red. And now your calves. You may have to breathe deeper. It may feel necessary to breathe deeper to get your attention to the bottom of your calves and to your ankles. And that's fine. Take as much time as you need. Even if we move on, if you need to stay in a particular place, that's just fine. Flexibility and personalization are exactly what we want to have happen. Now, go ahead and breathe into your feet. Maybe let them stretch a little bit. Wiggle your toes. Release the tension that's there. Let them relax and be quiet. Breathing in cooling blue or turquoise. Breathing out red or orange. And let's sit here for a moment and feel our entire bodies calm and relaxed. If there's any place where tension has returned as you have moved on, offer that place more compassion. Pay attention to it. Acknowledge that there is pain there and allow it to release by being seen. Right, and I'm going to ask you to come back to present. And if you've never heard that term, how we usually do that is by wiggling our toes and our fingers and opening your eyes if you have closed your eyes, and just coming back out of your mind and into the space that we're in, back to this video. Sometimes when you're meditating, we'll use a chime or a timer, or if you have a guide, they often will just ask you to come back to present. Okay, so I want to offer or extend some homework for you. I would like you to practice rhythmic breathing 3 times per day for the next week, and take some time every day to do a body scan. It doesn't have to be long. It can be 5 or 10 minutes. If you can guide it yourself, if you feel like you want to have somebody guide you, obviously you can listen to this recording. There are also lots of other amazing guided body scan meditations. And I want to tell you about some of my favorite resources before we end today. There are lots of meditation apps, and I have tried all of them. They're all useful. If you find one that works for you, that's great. But my favorite one is called Insight Timer, and I particularly like that there are so many free meditations on it. I think that meditation should be something that is offered freely to everyone. And so I really admire Um, the the I really admire the company that has put out Insight Timer, that they've done this, and they've done it through an open source, and there are lots of teachers, and maybe one day I will put some up there, but right now I don't have any recorded. Again, my technology phobia, but I'm working through it, and I'm using the tools that I'm teaching you to work through it. So there are lots of body scan meditations on there, and you can use those. There are also many body scan meditations on YouTube. Um, I will try to add some specific ones during the watch party. And the last resource that I want to invite you to is that on Facebook we have a group that has been functioning for a while. It's not super functional, but maybe during this time we can we can increase the use of it. And it's called Meditation Collaboration. And I would like to invite you to join us there. And I will also post some of my preferred body scan meditations there. Uh, Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that it has been helpful for you. I um, I dearly hope that as we face the changing events in our world, that we can do it together, and we can do it with mindfulness, and use the tools to help our brains to do it calmly and with compassion and openness. I'll see you next week.